Hello and welcome to Centurion's Corner, and today we are reviewing from the G.I. Joe Classified Series line, Vincent R. Falcon. Now, I enjoyed this guy. I think his first appearance was in the Action Force cartoon. I may be wrong here, or G.I. Joe, from wherever you're from. I think it was the film, and he was one of the best new recruits for me. I really enjoyed the actual character, and I can't wait to put him onto the shelf, to be honest. The background of the actual box here looks really nice, and if you are a watch person like me, you can see a nice picture of a chronograph there in the background. We've got a nice little picture of Falcon at the bottom down here. On the side, he's parachuting to action. You can see a little map part up on this side. On the back, we just got computer renders of the figure once again, with his backpack, shotgun, knife, and his little beret there, and two pictures of the actual Falcon figure. On the side, here's number 64 with his attributes, and we're going back to the front. So I guess without further ado, let's crack this bad boy open. So here he is out of the box. It's actually probably the best presentation that we do find from Hasbro in this sort of cardboard sort of sleeving, even though they're coming away from the cardboard kind of packaging now. But all the others are always kind of like wrapped up in a bit of paper. But this one actually comes with a little foot locker with all his accessories inside there. Even though they do still have the tissue paper inside, it comes in a nice little package here. And actually the figure comes on a nice tray as well. So it's kind of weird that Hasbro actually go through and do all these kind of different kind of literations of all this sort of cardboard packaging, that's for sure. So anyway, we take all these off, get all these kind of bits out of the way for our first impressions. It's a bit tight on there, and we can just pull him out. There's a bit of controversy around going about this guy's face, so I do know about that, but as we go through the review we can have a take a look at it. But on first impressions, it's not as bad as I thought, to be honest with you. So I'm going to go away, take some pictures, put him through his poses, and we'll see you in a moment. So welcome back. We have been away, we are taking his pictures, and what can I say about this figure right from the outset? Well, straight away we can just talk about the face. And the face, one minute it's okay and I'm thinking, do you know what, it's not too bad, and other times I look at it and I go, no, it just won't do. And in some ways it fits in the same category as my ex-girlfriend. But saying that, part of from the actual face, the actual figure itself isn't too bad, but there is quite a few nitpicks as well. So I think it will affect the overscore in the end. But we'll get through that as we go through the review. So first of all, he comes with about 4 accessories. Comes with a nice shotgun here. You can see it holds it quite nicely in his hands. We actually got like the knife on the back and the backpack and his beret. But just taking a closer look at the shotgun, we'll just pull it out of his hands, and it's not too bad. It's done in this light grey plastic. We've got the brown stock down here and you've got the green shells on the top. It just looks very basic, very bland, and the shotgun part here doesn't move. The stock can come down and this bit can flip out as well, but this bit here will kind of just fall off over time. Just be careful. It's held on there by a little C-clip, but yeah, sometimes I've knocked it and it's just fallen off. So yeah, don't push down on it too much. There's nowhere to stock like actually fit it onto the actual figure itself, so he doesn't hold it anywhere in his backpack, so he'll always have to be holding his shotgun, unfortunately. The other accessory he comes with is a little knife on the back here, done quite well. It's all in a silver, very basic kind of hilt down here as well. And when he's holding it in his hand, because of the size of the shotgun, it doesn't fit in there very well. You kind of have to sort of like wedge it in underneath his trigger finger there, and spring it around here to make him hold it in a decent kind of way. But yeah, apart from that, it is slightly annoying on there. But that just fits into that little sheath on the back here, and another place it feels a little bit weird for it to be stored. The backpack doesn't fit on his back very well either, because of the way the peg is. It's up here in the actual shoulder, between the shoulder blades, which is the part of the figure where it starts to bend. If it was down here, it wouldn't be too bad because it'd be quite flush and quite flat. But where we stick this in, and most of the peg is used over the top of this extra kind of sort of webbing that he has over the top of the actual figure, it kind of pushes it out. So it's at a weird angle, so you're always going to knock it and it's going to fall out. So that peg just needed to be a little bit longer and it will be fine. But where it kind of goes down straight and flat, it falls out really quickly. But looking at the actual backpack itself, it's done in a really nice kind of green. We've got the sort of water bottles down here, and we've got the rope as well. So it's actually quite a nice detailed backpack. However, it's just a shame about the peg length on there. And we've got the little aerial on top there for his radio stuff. I kind of wish the actual knife as well went into the actual chest part here, maybe up the top there. I know it's a little bit too long, but then I would rather a smaller knife to feel more aesthetic pleasing as well. The actual beret as well is on top of his head. It's not, you know, it's done in a matching green, which is quite nice. It flushes over the top of his head and that just pops off, and you can see his hair on the inside there. I actually feel like he looks a lot better with the beret off, to be honest, than when he does have the beret on. It really kind of emphasizes his face there. Just doing a side-by-side comparison with Flint as well, so you can see the size differences in that beret and face. But yeah, nonetheless, I mean, the accessories really, I mean, 4 accessories is enough. I think sometimes for a Joe figure, they don't all have to come with loads. But unfortunately, he doesn't sort of carry the guns very well. The holster of the knife isn't in a great place, and the utilisation of the actual backpack as well isn't great. So for his accessories, I'm not going to give him a pass, unfortunately. But with that, we can actually go for this guy's articulation. In articulation, he can go left, he can go right, he can look down this far, and he can look up this far as well. We've got a bit of swagger in there for a bit of personality. Full rotation at the arm comes up this far, and we've got a nice butterfly joint in there as well. Rotation at the upper arm, we've got a double elbow joint in here, which is pinless. Rotation at the wrist, and it's also on a hinge. We've got sort of like waist swivel at the bottom down here, just underneath this part. We've got the nice crunch as well, which comes all the way and all the way back. Leg wise can come up this far, they can go down as well with the actual sort of drop hinge as well, forward, back. We've got upper thigh rotation there. We've got a double knee as well, which is pinless, which comes up that way. We've got the boot swivel as well, and then we've got the rocket and the pivot at the ankle. So all in all, the articulation is what we've been getting from all the Joes is utilised really well, and it also doesn't feel sort of like loose, if you know what I mean. Let's get his arms the right way around. So yeah, all in all, really good, and I would give that one a pass. But now we can actually go through this guy's details, and I think this is kind of where it gets let down. So his face is slightly a little bit too large for the actual figure itself, and it kind of reminds me of one of those ventriloquist puppets from, was it Goosebumps or something like that? I really think he kind of looks like that. I can see kind of the look they were going for, that stoic kind of look, but because Falcon is supposed to be quite young, like early 20s at least, this guy just looks like he's in his 50s, you know. He just kind of looks like he's been there and seen it all, and it looks like Falcon as he would sort of be coming up for like a general. Like maybe in a way it would suit Falcon if we had the helmet on there, looking a little bit more kind of you know, I don't know, just a guy that's kind of like a little bit more wisdom than I can imagine what Falcon was, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, coming down here, I think it's too green for me. I would have kind of liked these to be brown, just to break up the uniform a little bit. The original cartoon one, he was kind of green with a lot of brown over the top of it, but I just think this brown on here just would break it up a little bit more, as he just looks a little bit too green. He actually has got camo on there. It's a very darker green compared to like the sage on there. So with the light shining on, it kind of gets disappeared, but it is on there. You can just see the slight camo all the way through, so I kind of wish there was a little bit more contrast in the colour. He's got this little hanky on here, which is probably removable if you wanted to take his head off as well, so you could do that. On here we got his kind of like the Geo thing, we've got the knife, got the belt with a little bit of silver on here. This bit gives off that kind of like his shirt is untucked by it's coming down over the top there, but this keeps riding up. On the back, just much the same, to be honest with you, not much going on here. We have got a green watch as well on the side. It's actually got the actual clock face on there, which is pretty cool. And yeah, that's kind of it really. So what would I give the actual figure itself for the sculpt? Well, the sculpt I think passes. I think the face lets it down, but the actual figure itself, and where this is only like 5% of it, and I know it's the kind of the personality of the figure, I do think it's actually a good Joe figure. So I will give it a pass, but with the precaution that the face needed improving, that is for sure. So that is Falcon on the side there. I think I will give him a silver because I do like it as a figure. I think he is really good. I do feel that there is slight places of improvement. which will give me kind of a place to go off and give him a little bit of customization over time. And I have seen some people out there where they've taken off this face and gave some extra faces from the fodder box, and someone actually done Dusty and put Dusty on there, and you wouldn't think about that, but looking at this picture here, I think it looks great. So I think later on I might swap them over and actually just paint the browns on this guy and he becomes Dusty, but I'll see at a later date. So putting them side by side, we got Dusty here and we got Flint, and yeah, so as you can see, in size comparisons he kind of falls in, but that head size is completely different to the rest of the actual figures as well. So yeah, it does look sort of slightly a little bit off compared to the others. We'll take these away and we compare him with some other figures that we got going about. So for size comparisons, we have a normal standard Stormtrooper here. We have my favourite Spider-Man ever, which is Ben Reilly, and then we have the Blue Ranger as well on this side. So as you can see, the G.I. Joes are coming a little bit larger there, a lot larger than the other sort of sizes, but that is kind of like G.I. Joe, and it's actually quite biggish as well compared to the Marvel Legends. So thank you so much for joining me on this one. Don't forget to comment down below. You can subscribe, you can ding that bell, and you can follow the channel as well wherever you're from, or I mean you can join the channel for 99p or 99 cents wherever you're from. And until next time, take care and I'll see you soon. Bye.